Whoa. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna stop. That is not how you hit the whoa. Hey friends, hey fam, what's poppin'? I hope you guys are doing so super well. Just wanted to hop on here real quick because maybe you're someone who is trying to elevate your Instagram game. You want to finesse the gram a little. I just have a few quick tips on how I was able to take my Instagram audience from 1,000 followers organically to 55,000 followers in less than a year. So let's jump into this video. Also, if you're not, subscribed, you should subscribe. The first thing I want to talk about is actually a don't. It is important to talk about something that you should probably avoid doing that can only hinder your growth. You've probably heard about pods and engagement groups. If you're not familiar with what that is, those are Instagram, social media communities that people have created on Facebook and through other applications where different niches get together and they share a post that they recently posted in the group, and then everyone in that group is required to go and like, comment, save to boost the engagement on that post, hoping that Instagram would push it to the tops of people's feeds. I'm not going to shame pods and engagement groups. However, I will say this one thing about them. The time you're spending engaging in engagement pods, you're just wasting your time, because every single minute that you spend engaging with someone in a pod is a minute taken away from engaging with a real, authentic human being who could be finding value from your work, and who you could be creating a long-term online relationship with, okay? One that I think is the most important is value, value, value. You must always be considering what value are you bringing to your current audience or your desired audience. But it's very important with every story, every feed post, everything you're putting out there, before you share it, say, what does this offer to the people who are following me or potentially going to follow me? Are they going to be able to walk away with advice? Are they going to walk away with comedic relief? You got to be offering up something that that person can walk away with, because your Instagram page is not about you. It's about the people who you're creating for. Once you identify what value you plan to bring to your audience, I highly recommend staying in that lane just while you're ramping up. We are human beings. We have more than one interest. That is great and that is beautiful. And there are going to be people who can connect and relate to the different elements and layers that you provide. However, starting out, you need to give people an obvious lane that you are in, so they know when they come to your page what they can get out of it. You notice people that are really successful, they have like a travel page, a beauty page, a fashion page. Like, they stay in their lanes. And what happens is Instagram also rewards that behavior. I don't know this for a fact, but I will say, when I finally stopped bopping around so much and focused in one lane, Instagram started to finally start putting my content on different explore and discovery pages. It seems as though Instagram says, hey, this person is continually posting in this niche and people are gravitating towards that. So maybe more people who are really into this niche should see it as well. If you are someone who is struggling to identify what lane to stay in, I can make a whole different video about how to identify your strengths and what value you could be providing. The next tip is about just starting. I know a lot of people have a hard time putting themselves out there because it is a risk, especially if you have friends, family, people from your hometown who follow you, and it's very easy to fall into that fear of what are people gonna think. Put it to the side, put it to the left. because at the end of the day, the people that you know from your past, if they really love and support you, they'll jump on ship. And if they don't, they'll peace out. Like I had tons of people that I grew up with or went to college with that they just like disappeared when I started posting on Instagram obsessively. And you know, it probably was annoying, so good for them. Don't overthink it. Like it's literally not that big of a deal. Start creating now, start posting now. It's not about what equipment you have. It's not about how much research you can do. I'm saying start now and learn along the way. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, this next tip is huge, honey, huge. Consistency is key. Like I know you've heard it before. If you are not posting consistently, you're missing out on opportunities to connect with new people. You're missing out on opportunities for your content to be pushed out, and you're missing out on opportunities for you to get stronger and better. I highly recommend, like, you know, run out the gates fast and strong. And I'm not saying be obsessive. I honestly didn't post multiple times a day. I just posted once a day on my feed, and I posted on my story every day. No way am I saying to sell your soul to Instagram. There are ways for you to plan out these things so you're not constantly on the application. If you want to see a separate video about that, let me know about batching content and planning out your content as well. Okay. And allowing people that opportunity to get to know who I am, and allowing me the opportunity to get to know who was my audience and who was connecting with me. So I highly recommend post consistently. And if you do not have a photographer and can't afford one, I'm just like you. I don't have a photographer. I cannot afford one. I highly recommend do your research and learn some basic tips. There are great videos out there on YouTube about how to pose yourself, how to style photos, and how to physically take photos, as well as editing. This one is not the most fun to talk about, and people think that this is something that is dead and gone, but it is very much well alive and ready. And I am going to talk about hashtags. I will definitely insert a few screenshots of the views and follows I've gotten from hashtags here on the screen. And just take a look. Like, these numbers are authentic, real, organic, and they are from hashtags. They are not dead. We can do a separate video on a hashtag strategy, or you can go research some online, but I will tell you, take the time now to research 90 hashtags that you can use. You're not going to use them all at once, but save them in your notes and rotate out between those hashtags depending on what you're posting. So I have hashtags for my home decor content. I have hashtags for more of my lifestyle content. Have them saved in your notes, and literally it's just a copy and paste game after that. I'll go look at hashtags now, and there'll be girls with only like a couple hundred likes, and their image is at the top of the feed. So do not be afraid of them, and mix in hashtags of different sizes. When you're snatching those hashtags for each of your categories, get large ones, medium-sized ones, and small ones. And the only other thing I'll say is be aware of what hashtags are banned. Instagram says that they don't do shadow banning. However, they do ban certain hashtags, whether it be because of bullying or just them being inappropriate. Just Google Instagram banned hashtags and be wary. Do not hop into your Instagram game running out the gate trying to do sponsored content.
I was born to flex. Yes. Diamonds on my neck. I like boarding jets. I like more than sex. But nothing in this world that I like.
Only because why would anyone trust you if you're immediately posting sponsored content? Honestly, I don't have to explain this that much. You're human, I'm a human, and none of us really love sponsored content that much. And if you're doing sponsored content from the jump, it's not going to be that valuable because you really haven't built that foundation of people who, you know, are internet ride or dies. They're not really gonna ride or die, but they'll like ride or die on the gram. So I would say focus on the foundational elements of your page first, focus on your growth, and really don't even have the thought of the money on the forefront of your mind. If you are a business that is selling a product or a service, this doesn't fully apply to you, but it is important to keep in mind that your customers are also people. So connect with them on a human level and not just a, hey, I'm trying to sell you some stuff level. Okay. A brand that does a really good job, and I recommend looking them up, Beyond Yoga. This is not sponsored by them, but I think they do a good job of promoting their products, but in a very authentic, organic way, and then also really connecting with their audience. I would check them out if you are a business page and want something to reference. People are on Instagram to connect with other people at the end of the day, okay? We are not robots yet. The aliens have not come. So this one is really what changed the game for a bish. Okay, this one set it up, popped it off, and I do not want it to come across as a scam in any way, but it was very helpful. So if you are trying to grow your audience and also be learning from other people, you have to actually put yourself out there and connect. And I highly recommend taking 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever works for your schedule a day, where you are, one, responding to the comments on your content and your DMs, and two, be connecting to new people who do not know who you are. And how do you do that? I could honestly do a whole separate video on that, but I will say this. What worked for me was taking 30 minutes every day. I would go onto Instagram. I would look up a certain hashtag that aligned with my niche. I would go like 10 of their photos. Then I would go comment on at least 3. I would comment on 3 of their photos precisely. And then I would go slide in their DMs and I would send them a message. Now, this sounds honestly insane, obsessive, over the top. This is why it worked. One, that person was getting hella notifications from a random ass bish. And it's like, what is all this love? What is all that? Who is that? And then on top of that, sliding in the DM, just like, you know, really digs it in there. On top of that, you follow them. You only should do this with accounts that you genuinely want to connect with, because that follow unfollow game, it ain't cute. We ain't here for it. Okay, let it go. And I would highly recommend, don't only do this for small accounts, do this for small, medium, and large. I had like 3,000 followers, 2,000 followers, and would have people with significantly more followers, 20, 50, 100, that would follow me back just because I showed that I am a freaking human and actually engaged in real discourse with them. To save yourself some time, girl, put in your notes like literally like 15 to 20 go-to comments that you can leave on people's pages. And that part I think sounds shady to some people, but it just saves you from getting carpal tunnel, like truly. And it's still authentic because it's coming from you and they are your words, and you are only using this strategy on accounts that you actually are inspired by and want to connect with. Have a strong profile picture, and you better have your bio in check. Okay, because when people land on your page, they need to know from the jump what you are offering them. It shouldn't be like a guessing game for them. You literally have like 3 seconds to catch someone's attention. So by making your profile picture a strong, great one that catches people's attention, when someone's scrolling through their notifications and they see like, bam, 20 notifications from this Jane Daily girl. Oh, okay, who is that? But like if your profile picture is like, I don't know, a piece of toast, actually that might work. But if your profile picture is like some like weird obscure selfie, like it's not gonna fly. And I know this now as my page has grown and I'm looking at my notifications, it's really hard sometimes to keep up with them. But someone whose account stands out, they'll have like a concise, great username, and they will have a really fun profile picture. And I'm like, ooh, who that? Who that though? Who go there though? Who that be though? Okay, I'm gonna stop. I really hope this video was helpful to someone out there who's wanting to really take their Instagram to the next level and create authentic, organic community on their platform, because that is what it's all about. All right, never forget that. Also, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're capable, and I love you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, like, let's connect if we're not already connected. Love ya. Bye.